close sports polls, the Dodgers have won their division 5 years in a row. Are they a lock to do it again? USA Today Sports' Scottsdale, Arizona, rather than attempting to lure a free agent starter to Coors Field, the Colorado Rockies spent money early and often on relief pitchers this winter. And now, after their $106 million bullpen investment set the tone for Major League Baseball's off-season, the Rockies are the prime example that the game's pitching evolution is now hitting hurlers in the pocketbook. Colorado is one of 7 Major League teams that will spend more money on its bullpen than its starting rotation, according to 2018 salary data compiled by USA Today Sports. Oakland, San Diego, Tampa Bay, Miami and the New York Yankees and Mets all will pay more for relievers in their rotations. Fiscal examples that clubs are increasingly valuing relievers at the expense of workhorse starters. Doubt the Rockies' imbalance is most striking. Their $49 million reliever payroll is more than 20 teams are paying their starting rotations, and 12 times more than the $4.2 million they'll pay their 5-man rotation. They opened the checkbook for free agents Wade Davis, 3 years, $52 million, and Brian Shaw, 3 years, $27 million, and their own Jake McGee, 3 years, $27 million. That trio, along with holdovers Mike Dunn, $7.3 million, and Adam Ottavino, $7 million, all will earn more than Colorado's highest paid starter, right-hander Chad Bettis, $2 million. He's a lone starter to crack 7 figures. More MLB news. Jeff Briddick, the Rockies' general manager, said the staff composition is a byproduct of decisions we made years ago. Whether it was drafting certain guys where we drafted him, says Briddick, and having those guys develop into starters, or whether it's trading for guys, or signing guys out of Latin America. We felt that it was a good way to proceed with developing the young group of starters. It's not like 3 to 4 years ago. We knew that we would be spending what we spent and allocating what we allocated to the bullpen this year. That wasn't necessarily a priority or plan. There was a need for other things to fall into place. This was a good team method. Dunn, who signed a 3-year, $19 million deal before the 2017 season, recognizes the potential of the young rotation and likes how the Rockies allocated their funds over the winter. Props to the organization and their scouts picking the talent that they did, he said. They spent the money in the area that they felt like was needed. Shaw, who was an integral part of the Cleveland Indians bullpen during their World Series run in 2016 and historic 2017 season, knows the bullpen payroll is hefty, but said that's just how the offseason played out. Considering all the starters that we have and almost everyone else that signed here in the bullpen were free agents, he said, I would assume it's a big difference. Davis, who replaces All-Star Greg Holland as a closer, blew just 1 save out of 33 opportunities last season with the Chicago Cubs. Shaw has thrown more innings than any pitcher in baseball over the past 3 seasons and led the majors in appearances in 3 of the past 4 years. McGee has performed much better as a setup man and closer, posting a 3.61 ERA and 1.10 WHIP. The bullpen was decent last season, led by Holland, who still remains a free agent. It ranked 20th in the majors, and ERA, tied for 15th in innings pitched and 20th in batting average against, respectable in MLB's most hitter-friendly park. We have a veteran bullpen that we can fall back on their experiences and to win tough innings and close out tough games, said Briddick. That's an important ingredient for a team with a lot of expectations. Ultimately this is going to be a group effort. And if we're getting the ball to Wade in the 9th inning with leads, then we're probably in a good spot, said Dunn. The word expectation gets tossed around a lot. Our expectations for ourselves are a lot higher. No matter how good of a year you had, you expect to get better. The 7 clubs spending more on relievers and starters run a competitive gamut, from the big bucks Yankees, the wild-card Red Mets, the rebuilding Pirates and the Rays, who are constantly trying to find wins on the cheap. Rare is the salary trend that works for markets of all sizes, which could make this an extended trend, at least until market forces dictate otherwise. It's very possible, looking at the behavior this winter and the way relievers were compensated, says Tampa Bay GM Eric Neander. There's certainly an importance placed on relievers. I think a lot about how relievers are valued. If you look back It seems to be a bit cyclical. At the end of the day, as many innings of high-quality pitching as you can afford to get, the better. Rockies manager Bud Black hopes to build off their playoff appearance last season. He plans to rely heavily on the star-studded bullpen to relieve any pressure on a young staff, one that has 4 starters with less than 3 years of experience. "We have a bullpen we feel comfortable with," said Black. "We have a lot of guys down there who are very unselfish and who can pitch from anywhere from the 6th inning on. Interchange from Mickey, Ottavino, Shaw and Dunn, and hope we get to the end game with Davis." Planned or not, the Rockies invested in a lot with their end game. Time will tell if they invested wisely. Contributing, Jorge L. Ortiz in Tampa.